Hey guys, my name is Numrich, and today we're going to cover 4 different ways to go ahead and deal with your common hook. Now, the reason why I'm making a video about this is because when you go ahead and you see strikes out in the street, you're mainly going to see that kind of a hook right there. Now, it's not going to be a pretty boxing hook most likely. It's more going to be like your drunken haymaker hook. So when we go ahead and we defend against this, I want you guys to go ahead and work both versions. Make it really, really tight sometimes, but then go ahead and really have it kind of thrown on out there or whatever. So when you train with your training partner, they can get practice with both of them. All of these kind of different defenses can take care of whatever kind of a strike we're talking about, whether it's going to be tight or it's going to be, like I said, that drunken haymaker hook right here. I'm going to bring Don out here. And the first kind of defense we're going to work with is that as he hooks right there, we're going to block, but we're also going to strike as well. We simply call this the block and strike method right here. So when I block right here, I'm also hitting. The most important thing that I can say with this particular technique is you want to use your body mass moving on in to his attack. If I go ahead and I stand my ground and he strikes, the problem is that I'm taking the brunt of this. If I use my body weight, let's say even if you have a person who's 100 pounds, 115 pounds, if they move that mass in as he goes ahead and they strike, they have all that mass behind the block, but also behind the punch as well. Let me go ahead and reiterate that again. If I go ahead and I just punch right here, that's going to deliver a certain amount of force. But if I go ahead and I step in and actually punch as well, that's just maximizing the force right there. So you maximize the block, you're also maximizing the punch as well. So block and hit is going to be right here. That's going to be the first kind of method on how to deal with a hook. The second kind of defense strategy we have up against the hook right here is what we call the jam. The jam, all we're doing is I'm using both hands on the same side, meaning the same arm, to go ahead and block that. Now, I hate using the word block, but I'm using it because I think everybody understands it. The reason why I like using the word jam right here is because you're literally just using your whole body to jam this attack right here. Once I'm in here, this is close quarters. I can go ahead and I can start using my elbow strikes. I can go into clinch. I can use my knee strikes. I can sweep. There's so many different options we can use from this particular position. What's great is the jam gets us into this position where I can go ahead and start using something. If I want to get him in some kind of, grappling move, I can go ahead and even do that as well. So it gives us a lot of variation. But as I said with the first kind of technique, we want to make sure that we use our body motion and our body weight to help us here. If I just sit back on my heels and let Don deliver this is going to be the brunt of the force, once again, right on me. I want to get on in there and I want to strike right here, use my force to stop this attack, and then counterattack immediately right after that. That is the second way that we can deal with a hook. The third thing that we are going to go ahead and deal with right here is what we call a cover. Covering is, all it means is that we're just simply going ahead and protecting our body to take the brunt force. Now, why would we do this? Well, sometimes we don't have the time, we don't have the space or the area to go ahead and to make a decision. Sometimes we're just reacting, and this is where this move particularly comes on in. When we go ahead and we do this move, I want to make sure that I hug the side of my face by grabbing the back of my head right here, and I don't want any space because if the other side of my arm gets hit, this part of my arm will hit my face. So I want to hug this nice and tight right here. But what I'd like to do is I like to go ahead and move in slightly just like this. This helps absorb that strike right here. So if Don uses it on this side, this is what it looks like. If he delivers on the other side, this is what it looks like. It's the exact same kind of move. Both sides right here. We're going to take it from here and I go here. Now notice what I'm doing with this eye. I never want this eye to go ahead and take myself off of the opponent. It's very, very important to do that. What we don't want to happen is to cover on up, lose sight of this person, because I guarantee you, they're not just going to take their time. They're going to launch their next attack. And if I go ahead and I try to catch them again, once again, you're waiting for the next attack, next punch, next takedown, and it's going to take you by surprise. So make sure that we keep at least one eye, I use the outside eye, always on the opponent. So when we do the cover, it looks like this right here. Do it one more time just so we can see it. Here. Now I can see not only where this arm is, but also what this arm is doing as well, whether I need to deal with it, whether I can get on in and clinch on up, whether I can disengage. It gives us a lot of options, but only gives us options if we keep our eye on our opponent. That's the third way we can deal with a hook. The fourth way that we're going to go ahead and deal with the hook is a simple bob and weave. Bob and weave is made up of 2 different movements. We have a bobbing motion, and all we're going to do is we need to make sure we activate our knees and bend our knees. I see too many people bending at the waist. We're not doing this. The big difference is that once we go ahead and we bend at the waist, I lose sight of who's in front of me. If I bend my knees, I can still keep my same line of sight right here. So the first thing is going to be a bob. The next thing we're going to do is a weave. When we go ahead and we weave, we're going to take the outside foot right here. I'm going to take a step out, duck under, and end up on the outside of the opponent. So it looks like this right here. Bob, weave. Now I'm on the outside. If I want to do this a little bit closer, I bob and weave a little bit closer. Now I can counter on this side. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show it from the outside as well. So if he goes right here, I'm bobbing, I'm weaving, but now I can go ahead and I can attack this offside right here. But the important thing is to know that you're on the outside. So 2 movements on this one, you're bobbing and you're weaving. Footwork has so much to do with it, just like all these defenses. We want to make sure that we step to the outside. So as Don does this, I go ahead and I bob first, and then I step out with the outside foot right here. That allows me to go ahead and get outside of the opponent's attack. Then I can go ahead, I can disengage, I can gauge, I can do whatever I want to in that point. Let's watch this one more time. I'm going to do it to this side real quick, nice and slow. Here, now I can go ahead and do whatever I need to do in order to defend myself and once again make a safe getaway. Thanks so much for watching this. Go ahead and check out the description right here. We have a lot more videos to show you guys. Hang with us, guys.